listening to my favorite talk show, The Weekly Show with Aditya.
This is episode 181 on the 13th of March 2020. When there is a conversation about digital media, how can one not talk about the existence of trolls? Trolls are nothing but glorified bullies who exist anonymously and are hidden amongst the various digital media sites. Are everything a celebrity is not. While a celebrity tries to instill some positive knowledge in individuals who are their followers, tries to be the influencers that would make everybody do something positive. The extreme end, there are these individuals who have been nomenclatured as trolls. Just like these celebrities want some sort of publicity, enjoy the benefit of being anonymous and individual so they don't mind bullying and trolling and abusing others online. Trolls are also, if one tries to understand and go deep into this, they are also individuals who have been once upon a time bullied in their life. Not use that sound intellect, judgment, and are influenced by a group of people, by fringe organizations who are sensitive to every small matter. Trolls want to be recruited by these fringe organizations, only want publicity, and they don't mind trolling, abusing, bullying individuals, especially on the pettiest of matters like nationalism, anything that doesn't conform to the pseudo culture of a country. Beyond these trolls and these fringe organizations who are hypersensitive and will abuse anyone and everyone for the most pettiest of issues. I am surprised by is that how much importance we give to these trolls. If these trolls are abusing an individual or an organization or an entity for whatever petty reasons, it's because they want publicity. They are not concerned about the reasons they are bullying people. Just want their 200 character lines on any digital media website, so they will go all the way to abuse, troll, bully individuals or organizations. What adds fuel to the fire is that a few intellectual individuals who understand what these trolls are and what their motive is, them the fuel because individuals answer them back. They make it into a huge issue as if online bullying is a problem. Nobody denies that bullying is a problem, but the bullying will be nipped in the bud if, as individuals, they are ignored and not given the fuel to carry on their malicious activities. Who are often the target of these trolls? The pseudo celebrities. These are equally responsible for being trolled. Why do celebrities tell us everything about their private and personal life? Why is there a need to share each and every photo about their existence? It's a paradox because one expects these celebrities to open about themselves because they are public figure, so nothing remains private. When they share their deepest and their most personal private aspects of their lives through these digital media websites, then these trolls take advantage of this and enjoy bullying them. Let's not get into specific individuals, but let's take a look at generic examples. A celebrity decides to take up a social issue which for whatever reasons is close to their heart. And right now, with the sensitive nature of the world we live in, everything and anything under the sun becomes an issue or something of a social cause. One can empathize with these celebrities. They are trolled and abused online. They are themselves responsible for it. That why is there a need to answer back every time? Before you answer these trolls or bullies, the more the fuel they get to enjoy bullying more people. And the moment these trolls, these bullies are ignored, means their comments do not come up in the public view. They are already in public view because people follow celebrities, and then one of these followers decides to bully them because that is what they enjoy, that is what their psyche is. And suddenly everybody starts getting concerned about online bullying, be it with children, be it with fully matured adults. The children part is sensitive. These celebrities are mature adults. They have the intellect to understand that if these very trolls, abusers, bullies are ignored, if they are not answered back, they do not get the publicity and the limelight, then they will stop doing that. Sometimes ignoring such situations is the best part. Celebrities who are too fond of sharing everything need to relook at what they share and what they should not share. Sharing is good. What I don't get is why is there a need to share everything? 2 hours or days away from such platforms will not be the end of the career of celebrities. In general, how can anyone take anything said or posted on such platforms seriously? A universal truth that anything shared on these platforms is meant for publicity, was never for social cause, and it will be never for any kind of social cause. If these celebrities are gullible enough to be carried away by sharing everything, then if people abuse or troll them, then they have to take it. As I said, just ignore them. Let's stop blaming social media for everything. There is a larger issue at hand, and if a celebrity doesn't tweet in support or against that issue, it doesn't mean that they don't have an opinion. They just don't feel that they need to bring it forward. The idea of digital media and its pros and cons is as much as in our mind as in the entity. I find it amusing when people start arguing on these platforms. Arguing on a platform where two individuals don't even come face to face. That be even taken seriously for 1 second? I don't think so. I disagree with this. The moment individuals hit back at trolls and bullies, goes from bad to worse. There is a saying that these platforms have dissuaded the idea of what is private and what is public. Platform does nothing. This platform is online, it is virtual, it literally does not exist. The individuals who have to be smart enough to decide what I should post and what I should not post. There is no written rule that an individual has to post everything about themselves on these platforms. Sometimes being cryptic and being invisible about things will also work. Despite these platforms being there for over 1.5 decades, he has not matured as to how to deal with it. Celebrity posting everything about their life is an itch. Until they post it, they will not be happy. If there is some kind of an unwritten rule that celebrities have to put their public and private life out there. What amuses me is that why do individuals, especially the popular ones, fall to this charade of sharing everything? Not the end of the world if you don't. If a popular individual decides that they are deactivating their digital media accounts, my question to them is, do you really need to tell people that I am deactivating my accounts? Just disappear. Nobody needs a ball by ball update of what you're doing. I'm getting up, I'm going to the washroom, I'm brushing, or I am enjoying with my kids, playing Christmas or playing with snow, making snowmen, snow figurines. Nobody is interested. At least I have no interest in what do these individuals do. Celebrities being celebrities, they are not intellectually smart enough to realize that they are putting the nail in the coffin by sharing everything, and when an individual abuses them online, they cannot take it. Not about gender, it's about being smart enough what to share and what not to share. If an individual wants to deactivate their accounts, just do it already. It won't be the end of the world if you stop tweeting, stop Instagramming. Individuals' popularity cannot be determined by what they post on such. It won't diminish if they just stop. There is nothing sentimental about posting pictures with your kids. The whole world does that. Celebrity in this context usually means performing artists, that is, actors and actresses. Digital media or no digital media, they need the publicity. As individuals, they need the approval of others, then they don't deserve to be in that category of being popular. They are nothing more than gullible. Why should, as individuals, we be concerned that if a sports star or a performing artist decides to take a break from their respective professions? Does that hurt you or me or anyone? They have decided to take a break. It's their decision and there is no need to discuss it further. No need to make everything into a social issue and a problem. The one we recently had in the case of Glenn Maxwell. This individual recently decided to take a break from the sport for a few months, but the only thing was that he had an emotional context to it by saying that he is taking a break because of mental issues. Respect the individual's decision, but it should have been done quietly. There was no need to make a mountain out of a molehill. This ends part 1 of this episode. Stay tuned for part 3. Welcome to part 2 of this episode. Is it social media or social faux pas? That is the question one needs to answer. When it comes to such digital media platforms, all logic flies out of the window. Get any kind of publicity, be it being trolled or being praised, individuals can go to extreme length to post their ideas on such platforms. They are aware of what could be the consequences of saying things which may not be to the liking of a few fanatics. This platform is extreme. On one hand, there are trolls who love abusing individuals. On the other hand, the extreme end, there are fanatics for inexplicable reasons love defending an individual, or such individuals enjoy the publicity and bathe in the image of such individuals because they themselves are underconfident. Both these groups, be it the trolls or the fanatics, when they go to the extreme end of abusing or praising an individual, it shows one thing, that these two categories themselves are so underconfident about themselves that there is a need to praise or abuse others. For them, this abuse or praise gets a lot out of their system because they cannot do anything for themselves, so they spend the entire time on such platforms looking for an opportunity to get their publicity. The fact that they are on a platform where they will never physically meet individuals. These groups are as much as complicit in spreading information as much as spreading misinformation about pseudo celebrities. But the extended arm of the paparazzi, the more modern version of page 3. Let's take a generic example as to how these two groups overplay their hand and there is no intellect involved in their action, especially on such sites. Recently, a director talked about the conversations he had with an actor in his movie. Whether one takes it as a jest or one takes it as a bullying. Told her something which this actor did not take it sportingly. Maybe this actor had the right to press her displeasure to individuals is acceptable, but what I find amusing is that where this actor expressed the displeasure on a platform which itself has no credibility. Director also went over the board when he, in what this director thought was a jest, talked about the conversation he had with this actor, which was taken in the wrong context by everyone. Find it amusing that how can we take these individuals seriously at any point in time, whether they are on the print or electronic media talking about issues, or whether they are on the digital media talking for or against an issue. After all, they are professional liars. Nothing they say can be taken as a gospel or at the surface level. Their profession entails them to be superficial, but that is a different discussion. So this director went on to talk about the conversation, whether it was disparaging or insulting to that actor. That is a decision that can be taken later on. He, without thinking, talked about the conversation and it became a huge issue when digital media was divided into two parts. There were the trolls and there were the fanatics. Or in fact, the fanatics became the trolls. There are no rules on this platform. An individual can be abused or praised at any point in time. Particular individual was aware that people are oversensitive when it comes to such matters. Everything said cannot become a matter of patriarchy or sexism the way we envelop such issues. The world is so oversensitive at this point in time that patriarchy and sexism is being taken as a serious thing. Yes, it is, but how can it come a moment of truth for this individual on digital media platforms? A universal truth that be it fanatics or trolls or fans who become trolls, also equally responsible for spreading of misinformation without adequate background check and research. The world in a very sensitive place and every issue has to become a mountain out of a molehill. There's need to defend an individual whom we have never even met, a performing artist whose job is to professionally lie, whose very existence thrives on publicity and a bit of misinformation and a lot of lies. Why is there a sudden need to have fanatics for this individual? Because these very fanatics are so underconfident. Fanatics have no life of their own, so they see it as some kind of a divine mission to come in support of this individual. So this director, whoever he was and whatever he said about this performing artist in an interview, picked up by fans who became troll and they started trolling this director. So there you go. It is social media faux pas. Imagine this happening 20 years ago with the digital media still in its infancy and not fully fledged platform for individuals to quickly share their views. Very newspaper which picked up this news wouldn't even have bothered about it, but thanks to digital media platform, every news is news. Just as the famous proverb goes, a dog bites a human, it is not news. When a human bites a dog, it is news. Today, the definition of news has changed. Lack of coherent news or maturity means that if tomorrow MS Dhoni slips on a banana, it will become the news of the century. To how he could slip, is his eyesight failing? Is he not fit enough to play the sport? On the other hand, there would be extreme fanatics who would go to the extent of sending him flowers. The worst part is that the mainstream newspapers who have worked hard for over 2 centuries to get their newspaper respect it deserves will pick up on this event, which is not even so important. It has to become a subject of debate. It doesn't mean that 20 to 30 years ago, when digital media was dominant, there were no fanatics or trolls. It was just that it was not very easy to abuse someone so easily. But in contemporary times, making a mountain out of a molehill is the way the world functions. The moment two individuals pseudo spat on these platforms becomes mainstream news. Shows how the lack of understanding what is news and what is to be ignored is slipping away. This ends part 2 of this episode. This ends episode number 181 on the 13th of March 2020. We'll be back on Monday for some more exciting conversations. Till then, it's goodbye and good night from the studios of Aditya Digital Network, and have a great weekend.
And you're listening to my favorite talk show, The Weekly Show with Aditya.